Greetings. My name is Javon Jackson, and this is the culmination of my independent study engaging in the area of urban ministry. First, I would like to thank Dr. Marsha Snelling Haney for this opportunity to engage in this independent study. As I was reflecting on my time spent at the Interdenominational Theological Center, I realized that this was one area that I had not had the opportunity to engage in. And so I approached her with this idea, and she willingly accepted, and for that I'm grateful for the opportunity to complete this before I graduate from the ITC. The reason why I desired to engage in this independent study, in the summer of 2014, I was assigned to the Holy Chapel CME Church located in downtown Columbus, Georgia. It's located in what is referred to as the Liberty District in Columbus. Urban center once was a thriving African American community. It has since dwindled, and there are some unique challenges here. And I wanted to better equip myself to be able to deal with those challenges and leading the congregation, but not only the congregation, the community in this particular area. And so I sought to engage to better myself for the most part in the idea of urban ministry. At the onset of this project, this independent study, I set 5 goals or objectives that I desire to achieve throughout and by the end of the particular study. I will admit that these are still objectives that are ongoing, but to share them with you. The first was to develop a better understanding of what it meant to engage in urban ministry. Number 2 was to learn mechanisms that would allow myself and my partners in ministry to identify the challenges and the areas of need in urban ministry. We wanted a better idea of how to see the various things that urban centers need, how to be able to research and to look and to really be able to identify what's particular to the community. And out of that stems my third objective, is that when we're able to identify the particular needs of the community, we want to learn how to implement ministries that are directly responsive to those needs, and not creating ministry for the sake of creating ministry, or haphazardly, or creating ministry based on solely what we think we see. And so we wanted to do a better job of implementing ministry, creating ministry that specifically meets the needs of the areas we're located in. Number 4 is to be able to develop ways of galvanizing and energizing people to engage in ministry in urban communities. I found the experience at Holy Chapel that not too many were knocking down the door to engage in different type of ministry outlets, particularly to the community. And so we want to learn ways on how to encourage people to engage in these types of ministry. And number 5, we want to learn to foster environments where the congregation and the community, the residents of the urban areas, feel that the church is indeed a part of the community and is doing ministry with them instead of doing ministry to them. We want to create an environment that we are co-laborers, we're co-partners in the struggle of humanity, and we're trying to, we're in the business of simply enriching everybody's life. And so we wanted to create a community sense, community feel between both church and the residents of the urban areas. This independent study was mostly myself engaging, doing the groundwork and trying to gain some understanding about how to approach building the type of ministries that are needed in urban centers. And so to accomplish my goals and objectives, first I set out to engage the literature of some of the leading experts in the areas of urban ministry. These experts include Dr. Ronald Peters, his book, Urban Ministry, An Introduction. Omar McRoberts, professor of sociology at the University of Chicago, who writes an article entitled Black Churches and Community Development. It's Gasper Colin, who writes a leadership model for community transformation, and Daniel Rivera Velez, who writes Transforming Lives, Transforming Communities, the Ministry of Presence. That particular article was very interesting to me as it gave the perspectives from an inner city Hispanic neighborhood and the struggles that they faced, and how Mr. Velez was able to overcome them. And also our very own Dr. Haney and her research in urban work, particularly her article, Theological Education in the Urban Context. All of these resources gave me valuable insight in helping me to gauge my understanding of what urban ministry really is, the challenges that are very identifiable up front, and ways to kind of navigate the challenges. Each resource was insightful from their own experience as to helping me see urban ministry from very many perspectives. But not only did I set out to engage the literature, I wanted to sit down with pastors who had a track record of success in their own communities respectively, and building relationship between the church and the community, and providing effective ministries and resources for those residing in the ministry. And so I had the opportunity to prick the minds of some who are, well, most actually who are my friends, who've just been successful in building and sustaining ministry. One was Dr. Charles Goodman. He's the pastor of the historic Tabernacle Baptist Church in Augusta, Georgia, located in the historic Lanny Walker neighborhood. Tabernacle has an excess of 80 ministries, with 20 particularly geared to the community. He comes off the heels of the Dr. Otis Moss, who he credits as really being the initiator of the community move of the Tabernacle Baptist Church. And Dr. Goodman, he's really done a good job in continuing to push that move in the historic Lanny Walker Boulevard. Another was the Reverend Dr. Timothy R. Green Jr., who actually happens to be my pastor, my home church pastor, at the Jenkins Memorial CME Church in Hephzibah, Georgia. While it's not necessarily an urban center, he's done a good job in building ministry that kind of suits the needs of the community. And I wanted to prick his mind to see how does he identify what's really needed, what processes did he go through in determining what type of ministries to offer in the Hephzibah, Georgia area. And I sort of had a first-hand advantage, as a lot of that I was privy to see firsthand, just didn't know all the ins and outs. So I wanted to sit down and just engage him in a conversation, see the process that he went through in determining what was best suited for the particular community. He engages over 500 of the residents on a weekly basis through his GED programs, through his before and after school daycare, and through various things like health, senior citizens wellness, even during the day. And so he's done a great job in meeting the needs of the community around him. Another was the Reverend Henry Thurman, who's also a fellow student here at the ITC, but he also pastors the St. Paul CME Church, one of the CME Church's most thriving congregations, and they operate over 100 ministries, with really a lot of their ministries focused to community residents. One of the premier ministries he has is his homeless church ministry, which they invite those who are homeless in the area to engage in not only a meal, but to engage in actual church service. They provide other ministries and resources through their building and through their programs. I just wanted to see Reverend Thurman is really known for his management and how to manage and how to see each of these ministries through. And I wanted to gain that sense from him. How do you effectively manage all of the ministries and make sure that they're operating at their prime, prime potential, at their fullest potential. Another was the Reverend Emmett Anaton. Our churches are located really in the same proximity, within walking distance of each other. Reverend Anaton has been a staple in the Columbus, Georgia area for 40 plus years, and the Friendship Baptist Church has an array of ministries that they are engaged in. And I wanted to sit down to find out what was the secret to his success, and I'm thankful that he has been willing to partner with the Hosea Chapel Church and helping us build community for this area, as they have some resources that we can't offer, and we have some resources that they can't offer. And so we really begin to build a bridge in order to utilize our resources to better benefit the people of this particular community. I also wanted to talk to various organizations who have histories of being community workers, of being out in the community, providing aid and resources to the community. These communities these organizations that I have the opportunity to sit down and talk with the Valley Rescue Mission, a Christian ministry, been in the community for over 60 years. And I also got an opportunity to talk with the Open Door Community Center. And lastly, I really want to engage the members of the Hosea Chapel CME Church just to see what their ideas were concerning ministry. What do they think Hosea can do? And I wanted to sit down with them, and I wanted to formulate a plan, if you will, a blueprint as to how we will go about trying to implement ministry within this area.